And there we go.
And there we are.
Bailey's ready too.
Bailey is ready. I hear him.
Oh, hey everyone. Feels like it's been forever since we did a live stream.
It's been a long time.
I'm going to say it actually has been forever.
Well, with everything going on, it's been hard.
Harris with one R. Since I'm going to be fast asleep when this stream starts, I'm going to leave some of my thoughts here. The radish-like earrings Luna was wearing, I believe, the dirigible plums, that is correct. One of the traits, Ravenclaw, my own house, is creativity, and Luna has a lot of it. She is my absolute favorite character in the books, my sweet little crumplehorn Snorket. So proud to be in the same house.
Thank you for the comment, Harris with one R. Awesome.
I think she's a great character. You should definitely be proud to be in the same house as her.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dan.
We is good. We has just been busy. I have been occupied. Ramona's playing baseball, so it's just been Oh, welcome Melanie. Good to see you. Good to see you. But yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's just been crazy. Like Ramona's baseball games are Thursday nights when we normally stream. So it's either we skip it or we stream at like 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock.
Yeah. So it's just been it's just been hard. Oh, I forgot my phone. I gotta go get that.
Chapter readings when I saw the notice of the live stream. Oh, glad you could make it, Melanie. And sorry to interrupt your readings. I think Luna is everyone's favorite Ravenclaw. I mean, come on. I'm not even in Ravenclaw, and she's my favorite.
Well, I mean, what's her competition? Cho Chang? Like,
you got me there.
Professor Flitwick, I guess. Like, he's cool.
Professor Flitwick is awesome.
Yeah, like, there aren't a lot of choices. Not a lot of Ravenclaws that we know. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you, Timothy.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Glad you liked it.
It was one of those videos where I was actually happy with it at the end. I'm usually like a perfectionist, and when I go through, no matter what, it's usually like, oh, I could have done this better. I could have done this better.
Yeah, you gotta not do that.
Like, I know with the, was it the Horcrux video? Last bit, yeah, the Horcrux video. I had to just call it with that video because I felt like it was never going to be done.
Hopefully you guys liked the little cartoon drawings in there. Because I did those. Oh, that's interesting. HP Theory, Folklore, they don't even mention that Cho is also a Ravenclaw. Oh, Melanie did the Gray Lady for Halloween 2012. I would love to see that.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, Dan, awesome. Ah, Pandora's Death. Yeah, that was a big colorful kaboom.
And on the topic of Cho Chang, well, I mean, I would forget Cho Chang was a Ravenclaw too. I was overshadowed by Luna.
I got the song, the Cho Chang song from a Harry Potter musical stuck in my head right now.
I kind of do, but I don't remember the words. I just have like the song.
Cho Chang, domo arigato, Cho Chang. I'm Cho Chang, y'all.
But we have another character video in mind that we're gonna do.
Yes.
And then also working on some.
Oh, you know who else is a Ravenclaw?
Some fire stuff.
Lockhart's a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We should talk about that.
No.
Yeah, we should talk about that. Lockhart's a Ravenclaw. But he probably doesn't remember that he's a Ravenclaw.
No, probably not. He was like Hermione was probably on the fence, Ravenclaw or Gryffindor.
Yeah,
Lockhart was definitely Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
probably.
He used his intellect for evil.
Veggie Gamer can't help but call Cho pumpkin pasty. Oh my god. Yes, we do have another character video that we're going to start working on, and we do have some A Song of Ice and Fire stuff that we are going to get going on. So for all of you out there who miss us doing A Song of Ice and Fire stuff, we'll be back with it. I miss doing A Song of Ice and Fire stuff.
And yeah, Trelawney is a Ravenclaw. It's just one thing. I guess maybe Rowling was trying to say that geniuses are just weird sometimes.
I mean, they are.
But to be fair, Trelawney was right every time.
Yeah, she was definitely right.
No one believed her.
Yep.
But on the topic of Luna,
That is what we are here to talk about this evening. Luna Lovegood.
I'm sure
We
there's
figured we would just chat about her for a bit.
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I actually missed, but going through and finding all the little metaphors and symbolism through her character
Oh, yeah.
was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Rowling thinks about a lot of things with every single character.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the more major the character, the more stuff you're going to be able to find. Oh, yeah, Quirrell. That's right. Quirrell is also a Ravenclaw.
Wasn't smart enough not to go hiking in the wrong part of the woods, though.
I mean, if Little Red Riding Hood has taught us anything, it's danger can lurk in the woods for anybody.
I guess so.
Hansel and Gretel, that one too.
McGonagall would be a great character video. McGonagall would be awesome. She is like a very interesting past.
Yeah. McGonagall would definitely be a fun one to do. Timothy says that we gave him a unique perspective that he totally agrees with. Her importance and significance, but yet she doesn't show up until the 5th book.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy, right?
And even in the last 2 books, she's not really there too much.
Yeah, she's not in the books a whole lot, but when she shows up, yeah, I was literally just gonna say that, Timothy. It feels like you've known her since book 1, even though you don't meet her until book 5. Yeah. By the end of book 5, she's just such a part of the story that you feel like you've known her the entire time.
Yeah. And part of that is because she's just so unapologetically herself.
Mm-hmm. She's not in Harry's grade. Or she's not in Harry's graduating class.
Grade.
She's in Ginny's class. So she would have been sorted into Ravenclaw in Harry's 2nd year, which he missed because he flew into a tree.
No, Ron flew in the tree.
Well, all right, technically Ron flew.
Shotgun.
That's true. Ron flew him into a tree.
Exactly. Don't be putting that evil on Harry.
All right, fair enough. That was not Harry's fault. Actually, the real victim was Hedwig.
Yeah. Oh my God, that one scene in the movie where she's
I know, where the eyes just go, whoa. But yeah, Luna. I mean, I feel like this is just going to be a nonstop. Luna's so great. Love Luna. Luna's just fantastic.
Trying to think what else.
Well, Moon doesn't sound right. Luna is much better.
Moon.
Moon Lovegood. Maybe Xenophilius wanted to name her Moon, and Pandora was like, no, we're not doing that.
I could see Xenophilius doing that.
Yep. I feel like Pandora kept him grounded in reality. She kept his dirigible plums on the ground.
Yeah. The dynamic highlighted between Harry and Luna. Yeah, that was another thing. Like going through, when you go through the story, you don't really think about it, but like she kind of contributed as much, if not more, to his story arc as like Dumbledore and Snape.
So, the biggest thing for me with Luna in book 5 is um the biggest thing for me in book 5 is after Sirius's death, he Harry like tries to talk to a number of different people trying to work out his grief, and no one helps and nothing helps. Um and he's just feeling so awful. Um and the one person that is able to actually get through to him is Luna. And it's because Luna has suffered the same kind of massive loss of a loved one. Like, wasn't Harry's parents died when he was a baby. He feels their loss and he knows their loss, but he doesn't know the loss in the same sense that Luna does. Luna lost her mom when she was 9. She had time to grow up with her mom.
She built that emotional connection with her.
Yeah, she knew her mom as another human being. And this time with Sirius, Harry knew Sirius and built a relationship with him and knew him as a human being and lost him. So Luna is the only other person who really understands what that feels like. And when she says, well, it's not as if I'll never see her again, right? And Harry says, well, yeah, isn't it? And she goes, no, they're just beyond the veil. They're just somewhere else. And this is a huge part of Harry coming to terms with accepting what death is. And that it's not just you're gone forever, that you just go someplace else. And that when you die, though you don't leave everyone, not really. And that's what Harry Potter really is all about. It's very black and white in Deathly Hallows with those quotes that Rowling uses at the beginning.
She kind of tells Harry what Dumbledore tells Harry in Deathly Hallows.
Right.
Just Dumbledore,
Does it in a Dumbledore way.
Yeah, more flamboyant, a better setting for the conversation.
And
now that you're dead, I can finally tell you.
It's the 3 words that when you reread for the second time is so impactful to me. Luna says to Harry, I believe you, about Cedric, and also mentions her and her dad believing him. That's also true. Yeah. When that's something that Harry very much needs to hear from somebody other than like Ron and Hermione, because he knows Ron and Hermione will back him no matter what.
Yeah, that's the problem with like best friends, because even when they don't really believe you, they're going to support you no matter what, which is great. But at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're like, do you really support me in this? Or are you just doing it because you're my friend?
Right. You can't, you're too close.
Yeah.
But when you've got Luna, who is still at this point in the book outside of like the friend circle, coming to him and saying like, I believe you.
Yeah.
Like Harry needs
She's
that.
Only an acquaintance at this point.
Although later in the book, when they go to the ministry and Ginny, Neville, and Luna show up, he literally thinks of all the people in Dumbledore's army, these are the last 3 he would want to go with him. Ouch. Ouch.
How wrong he is at the end. Though.
He has no idea. He has no idea. I also love Luna's readiness to just believe the ridiculous. Even if there's no factual evidence for something, she's ready to believe it.
Me and her would not get along well.
Oh, yeah. Well, you and her would get along like her and Hermione get along.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it would not be like... I love when Hermione is basically telling Luna like her and her dad are full of shit. And Luna just gives it right back, and she's just like, well, just because you can't think outside of an effing box.
You realize your face is like covered by the arm.
Oh, well, I was trying to make sure they could hear me. Um, that would be you and Luna.
Yeah.
You would
Luna.
not be able to
Luna,
handle
the
Luna.
science. Luna, the science. Yeah, but. No, Luna. They're radishes. That's what they're called.
But by the same token, is oh my god, yeah, when Xenophilius calls Hermione limited. That cracks me up so much. I think that's so funny. Um, because I think there is an element to what Luna and Xenophilius are kind of about. Just because magic, or in our world, science hasn't proved it, doesn't mean it's not out there, doesn't mean it's not true. It could yet be undiscovered. If something has not out and out proved that it is or it isn't, it still could be. And Hermione is of the mind that she's just going to flat out reject it. No, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Yeah, but it hasn't been proven that it isn't. So I love that whole kind of philosophical debate that comes up with Luna and Hermione, and well, how believable is it? And you know, um, if it's unproven, you can't say it isn't. You have to prove that it's not. And Luna tests that time and time again. Like, you have to prove that it isn't, otherwise it's plausible that it is, in very abstract terms.
As a person of science, I cannot tell you how much that argument annoys me so much. So I really feel for Hermione.
Oh, you are very limited.
I mean, great character, but I probably wouldn't be friends with them. Couldn't stand him.
Xenophilius or Luna?
Xenophilius, definitely.
Oh, I would.
Luna, I feel like we would be friends, but she would be one of those friends where I would have to take it in moderation, Hang out with them for a little bit, then I need a week away. Or I would just avoid like talking about any sort of scientifical discovery.
Scientific discovery.
Yeah. Oh, I said scientifical, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, scientific. Scientifical. It's my new Luna word.
Which it's very interesting though that Luna then goes on to be um a magizoologist. Like, she becomes a scientist.
Mm-hmm. I did check some. I don't know what it's exactly called. I don't know if the correct term is magizoologist or a magical creature naturalist or something like that.
Either way, she's a scientist.
But yeah,
Basically.
and a very successful one.
And a very good one. And I think that's born out of the home she has with Xenophilius and her mom. Like, okay, some of their ideas are really far out there. They're out there. Like this crumple horn snorkack horn. When Hermione is like, that isn't a rumpet horn. That is highly explosive. And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, that is beyond, like, that's silly. That's silly. But that Luna grew up in a house where she was encouraged to think outside the box and be creative and have come up with ideas that are unpopular, but to pursue them anyway. And that kind of creativity is great for science because it can lead to really interesting discoveries. Or even just looking at an existing problem and thinking about it in a different way. Luna, growing up in that environment, I think helped her in her career as a naturalist.
That's true. Or it could blow up your house.
Well, it did. That's what I mean, and like that was like extreme. You know what I mean? I think she took the best from. Um,
Oh, Dan, what's the setting? Because I've been trying to figure that out for the longest time. Because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
like I've been sitting weird this whole time. I'm like sitting at.
Because yeah, I know it picks up the echo, but everything I've
Right,
done so far, we're just like too close together. Oh,
absolutely. You're fine, Melanie. You do what you got to do. Um, you have to have a bit of the Lovegood mindset to understand that time can pass differently based on gravity. I think to be great in those areas, right, inventors, engineers, entrepreneurs, even scientists, you have to be able to think creatively. I think a lot of people get hung up on the word creatively and they think it's music and art and this and that. But being able to like really think creatively means to take a look at what's existing when what's out there and try to take that in a new direction or come up with new questions, you know. Um, I know Bill Nye has talked about this a lot of times with like little kids, and they ask like all these crazy questions and how curious they are and inquisitive about their world. And it's like Luna never lost that. And I think that kind of curious, creative, inquiring mind is what leads to some of these crazy discoveries and in every field of and science is one of those arenas where I think people think, well, it's rigid and it's science, it's math, it's blah 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 blah. But I think there is so much about creativity and how you look at the world that really helps science. That helps you really be innovative and think about things in a different way. You can look at the same thing, but if you see it in a different way, it'll help progress. And I think that's Luna.
no, I agree. But there are also some things that are just solidified facts.
Well, yeah, like the like Newton's laws. I'm not talking about Newton's laws or like
Whatever the equivalent of the magical laws are. What were the laws?
Gamp's
Gamps, yeah.
Gamp's laws of transfiguration.
Well, I guess that's just transfiguration. I wonder if there's like different laws for every type of magic.
I'm sure there are, but I feel like transfiguration is probably the most heavily like physics chemistry related subject because you're rearranging matter to be something else. So I feel like there has to be a lot of rules. It's like the most complex magic. I feel like transfiguration probably has a lot more complexity to it, but I bet there's rules for other things. Um, Timothy
Yeah,
says
probably.
that Snape even says there's creativity in potion making. It's not just following directions.
Well, yeah.
That would be chapter 8, The Potions
I
Master
mean,
in book 1.
you've got to come up with new potions every now and then.
Um he calls it a subtle art. Um but yeah, you have to be creative in potion making. I mean, what's his face invented the Wolf's Bane potion. Like someone came up with that. Someone had to be creative enough to try all these different things to make that. Ensnare the mind. Bottle fame.
Open your
Brew.
mind. Isn't that what he says to Harry?
Yeah.
You must open your mind.
Um so even though there's all these like crackpot conspiracy theories going on at Luna's house, like one of my favorites is that Sirius is Stubby Boardman in that rock band. That is one of my favorites. Um,
I mean, Sirius does look like someone who would be in a rock band, so I mean, I would believe it.
He has
That's one
rock
of
star
those that are
energy.
just, yeah.
He has rock star energy. He could totally be in a band.
Tight jeans, long hair, just doesn't give a fuck.
Carelessly handsome.
That's what I mean. What do you think I think he would be like, he's definitely like the lead singer, lead guitarist.
Mm-hmm. He is not the drummer or the bass player.
No.
No. He's like the lead guitar or the lead
Lupin's
singer.
a guitarist. Or not the keyboardist.
Uh,
I would probably put James as either lead guitar or lead singer, whatever
so
Sirius isn't.
Melanie, we were talking about in the Quibbler when they mention in the Quibbler that Sirius could possibly be Stubby Boardman, the band member in that wizard rock band, like that whole thing. Yes, Sirius Black. I'm gonna check OBS for the setting. When I opened it, I muted you, and setting desktop audio didn't work, so I'll have to. Time stream is done.
Time stream is done. What? Huh?
Oh, I will probably not have time by the time the stream.
Oh,
He's gonna check the
okay.
settings, but he won't have time while we're streaming. Sorry.
You got me like interested, so I'm like scrolling through Google right now.
Okay, I'll
looking to
just
see
keep.
if I
I'll
can
just
find
keep
it too.
talking about Luna. Then it's fine.
I'm talking too. I'm just
No,
multitasking.
I think James. It's like the Rolling Stones. I think James would be Mick Jagger and Sirius would be Keith Richards. Melanie says we sound quiet. Please turn up the volume.
All right, it's turned up.
Melanie, let us know if that's any better. I moved the mic lower down so you could see my face. So let me know if I sound better. But yeah, James would be Mick Jagger. Melanie says a little more. Maybe if I raise this a little bit. Is that better? James would be Mick Jagger. Sirius would be Keith Richards. You think Lupin would be the bass player? Peter would play drums?
That's a difficult one.
Yeah, that one's tougher. Dennis says, so Luna is one of my favorite characters in the series. Yeah, she's one of my favorites too. Love Luna.
I think she's like everyone's favorite.
I just love how
even if she's not your favorite, you still love her. Like you might have like, this is my favorite character, but Luna.
Love Luna.
Yeah.
Love Luna.
She's the most unique character, I think. Everyone else has their own personality and stuff, but she is just completely different in every way.
Peter's the roadie. Ah, ooh. Ooh.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, it does. Ooh. I guess that makes Lupin the drummer.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know, that's brutal.
So it's just a 3-man band then.
I mean, the White Stripes are only 2 people.
Got like a Blink 182 vibe.
Yeah. Why not?
Marauder 293.
I mean, they were up and coming in the 70s. It would have been perfect for the punk movement in the UK. Happened in the late 70s. It fits.
Single, Mischief Managed.
There you go.
It'd be perfect.
God save the minister. We mean it, man. Sorry. Random Sex Pistols joke. If anyone gets that reference. Anyway, now that I've made a bad punk rock joke, let's move on.
I got it. I'm just...
No, Dan says. Lupin does not play the drums. He's second guitar or acoustic piano. God save the minister.
I don't know. I feel like we got to give Lupin a little bit more credit than that. No?
I
I get
mean,
actually, you know what? Like the drummer has to be a little bit more crazy. Like every drummer is like that. They're just going wild in the background.
God save the minister, the fascist regime.
Is this gonna be another one of those like
They made
Elsa
you a
remixes?
muggle, a potential dementor. God save the minister. She's not a pure blood, and there ain't no future, and the wizards are dreaming. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I
I
was just
won't.
reading
I won't sing anymore.
James
It's
on
so
bass or
stupid.
lead guitar. Yeah,
But I have.
that's what I mean.
Oh,
James
Timothy
is
says he has to leave, but he will. Watch the rest of the stream because Luna is the favorite. His favorite.
all right. Well, you have a good night.
Have a good night, Timothy. Thanks for popping in. We will promise to try not to go on any more tangents.
No promises though.
No promises, but we will try to focus on Luna. So let us know what you think.
Someone is doing donuts in the dirt next to you.
Sorry. Oh, sing what
It's
you want.
it's all awesome until the dust turns into your direction. As soon as the wind starts blowing.
God, I breathe in dust every day.
Well, yeah.
I breathe in so much dust every day. So our book reading is not gone. Our Harry Potter content is up on a second channel, and we are currently working on plans to revive A Song of Ice and Fire. We will announce that soon. So we are planning to continue A Song of Ice and Fire, but we will let you know what the plan is for that. But you can currently access all of Harry Potter, right? Is all of Harry Potter up?
Yeah.
You can currently access all of Harry Potter on our second channel. There is a link to that second channel that you can access.
Also, let me know. I think I might have fixed the echo.
Yeah, let us know if it's... Yeah, Dan, do your thing. Let us know when you're back. So, yeah, you can still get our Harry Potter content, and we will be putting out our A Song of Ice and Fire stuff, which I'm very excited about. I'm just going to... Not to go on another tangent, but I'm very excited to continue reading A Song of Ice and Fire. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been too long. Hey, wizard.
Oh, Echo is gone.
Oh, awesome. All right, so that worked.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you.
The
Thank you.
symbol is fixed, and I could never find it. I've Googled this so many times.
Thank you. I really enjoy reading for you guys. So, I'm glad that you all really like how I read. Because I really enjoy doing it. So, I'm very excited to get going again. Especially with one of the series that I really like. Also, if you guys happen to notice, in the background, we've changed a little bit of the bookshelf, and you can
No one
now...
noticed.
No one noticed, but Cyrax and Caraxes are back there. Yay!
I completely forgot.
Well, I love dragons, so Cyrax and Caraxes are back there. They are going to participate in all of our streams. Well, maybe that is something we can do on our Patreon sometime.
Chronicles.
Yes. We've Dennis is not the only... Is it Dennis or Denis?
I'm trying to think because I don't I know it sounds familiar, but I can't
I'll tell you.
remember what it's about.
I just want to get clarification. Is it Dennis or Denis? I just want to make sure I pronounce your name correctly. I don't want to be rude. The Vampire Chronicles are... Okay. I was like, I bet they're French. I bet I'm not saying their name. I thought so. Did you see Interview with a Vampire? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. Wow, this would be another series we would read where he has no idea what it is. It's I've never read the books, but I saw the movie, and I've done like a little bit of research. I know what they are. It's basically this vampire series, but they're wildly popular. Um, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are in the movie.
Are they vampires?
Yes.
Knew it.
Um, the books are considered very, very good. Tom Cruise plays Lestat, and Brad Pitt plays Louis.
Tom Cruise do his own stunts. Tom Cruise so extreme, he actually drank real blood.
Oh my god. I'm so upset Lord of the Rings can't be read because of copyright. Your voice would be so cool. I am upset too because I would love to read Lord of the Rings for you guys, but
I don't know if that one guy is able to sue Tolkien for 250 million. I'm gonna take the risk.
I mean maybe we could
You're gonna
read Lord of
sue
the
me,
Rings.
Tolkien? No, we're gonna countersue 300 million this time.
Yes, Kirsten Dunst is the child character. And yeah, I think Antonio Banderas is in that movie. I think you're right, Melanie. Um Yeah, I don't blame you. I've never read the books, but based on the character of Lestat and like what his deal is, I would not have seen Tom Cruise in that part either.
I want to look up like how that lawsuit is going.
Oh, with that
If
dude.
that guy's
We are
book is still
so
on
not talking about
Amazon.
Luna
No,
right
we
now.
aren't.
No, we are not talking about Luna right now. We are way off in tangent land right
This
now.
is why we don't promise.
But yes, I too would like to know how it's going with that guy. Oh my god, what was that guy's name? His name was like ridiculous.
What?
The guy who's suing the Tolkien estate.
Oh yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Um, read the first book and you will want to read the rest. I bet. It's a series I've always like wanted to read, but it's never been like super high on the list. Right now, I am currently on the last book of the His Dark Materials series. So I have to finish that first before I read anything else. But there
I'm like on a non-fiction kick. I
I know
don't think
you
I've
are.
read any fiction in the past year.
See, before I read quite a bit nonfiction. Now I kind of really want to read some fiction because I also want to start planning my book.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of want to read more fiction to educate myself
Gotcha.
so I can start planning and taking notes and writing things.
I have no plans of reading a fictional book anytime soon. Oh, I
Oh
mean, maybe
my
I'll do the
god,
vampire
yes.
thing.
All right, let's get back on track. Luna's Quidditch commentary. We can talk about that.
Kind of regret we didn't mention that in the video because that
Yeah.
was great. It was a
There
great scene.
I think we got the big points though.
We did. We got the moment. It was just a great moment.
Luna's Quidditch if Luna commentated Quidditch like all the time, I would go to the games
Oh
all the time. Because honestly, I'm not going to lie, like if there was a Quidditch match on Saturday and I was at Hogwarts, like I probably wouldn't go. I'm not going to lie. I
You know what we
probably would
should
not
do?
go. I mean, I would probably be doing other things.
So
Unless Luna was commentating. If Luna was commentating, I would be there. I may be trying to get some extra credit, like in potions class or something.
my petition
you
for
know.
Luna. So they didn't put Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy because they announced that they're releasing a standalone Quidditch game, right?
Yeah.
They should get the actress who played Luna to do like the voiceover commentary for the matches.
Oh my god.
It would be amazing.
Losers Lurgy. I know. Losers Lurgy. It was so good. Her commentary is solid gold. Honestly, when we read All the Young Dudes and Remus does the commentary,
It reminded you of Luna.
it reminded me of Luna,
I
and
think
I
it was
thought
supposed to.
I think it was supposed to because it was one of the few moments that I actually really enjoyed in that because it did remind me of Luna, but like in a different way.
Just had a lot more profanity.
A lot more profanity. Um, but it had that same kind of like wild energy. Like, train is off the tracks. We are just doing whatever. Ivana Lynch, I think,
Yeah,
is her
I
name.
think it was Lynch.
I
I saw
bel
that name a lot looking up Luna stuff.
I
It's hard to
believe.
find like Luna book facts and material. It's all the movie.
Yeah,
Like every character is kind of like that, but Luna especially is you just get movie, 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 movie.
I think it's because the actress just did such a good job. That was one of the things about the movies that I thought they did very well is casting Luna, because that actress, who also says Luna is her favorite character, played the part very well. Like, I really think she was fantastic. The movies just kind of sucked, but she was standout. She was great.
Yeah, 100%.
Um, and did I read somewhere, I think, that
Yeah, Ivana Lynch was the perfect Luna.
she struggled with an eating disorder prior to?
I don't remember exactly what you said. We were having a conversation one time because I remember making the joke because you said that she actually had like uh some
Struggles.
psychological struggles and everything. I made the joke that Rowling heard that and she was like, "Yes, get her.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
crazy." You say? Perfect.
Um, yeah, I
That's
want to say
true.
it was an eating disorder, but I'm not sure.
And it's so hard because all the children, I mean, I don't know any child actors. I feel like they're all just going to be fresh actors and actresses, and I'm not going to be able to
Well,
really judge
Katie has
anyone.
said multiple times that she would like a show full of just all totally unknown actors and actresses, just like no one that you've heard of before. So it's like a
But
completely
just
blank
because that
slate.
worked in House of the Dragon doesn't mean it's going to work everywhere.
Didn't work in House of the Dragon. Everyone knows who Matt Smith is. And
But Rhaenyra and
well, yeah, but
Allison,
that's two characters. I've seen Patty Considine and other things.
well, yeah, I'm just saying that those two characters like were
Well, right.
standouts in how well they acted. They lived up to all these other big names.
But I
I'm just
mean, with the
saying that doesn't
kids, like
always happen.
you have to pick unknowns for the kids. There's so many kids. How many child actors are, like they're gonna pick some unknowns.
Oh yeah, I know.
Um anyway, anyway.
She was already living in the character of Luna. Ah, so see, she
Well, I think that's why she said Luna was her favorite character. A lot of the reason why Luna was her favorite character was that she personally identified so much of herself with Luna.
mm,
Like, she just found a lot in common with Luna. Um, I know that when I read the books, I found a lot in common with Luna because when I was in high school, the book, Order of the Phoenix, came out when I was around Harry's age, and like I understood Luna like a lot because a lot of my peers thought I was like a freak show weirdo, just like they feel about Luna. Um,
do you have the same dance moves?
am
A
I?
little.
I don't dance, so there. Um, but I remember thinking like this. I can identify with this. And I was happy to see that not only was Luna different, but she also just straight up did not care that people picked on her or they didn't understand her. She was still just gonna be herself regardless. And it's that's how I was in school. I was like, I'm still just gonna be me. I don't care. Um, and that takes a lot of confidence to be able to be like, I f this. I'm just gonna do me. Um,
Especially in like middle school and high school.
yeah.
Because
For me, I don't know if it was so much confidence as I see what everyone else is doing and I don't like it. So I'm just going to go over here off to the side and just do what I want to do and just kind of block the rest out. Um,
I remember my one English teacher uh, said because his daughter like graduated high school with us. He said after you've dealt with a teenage girl, there's nothing that'll really offend you. Said they're the meanest things on the planet because they just don't care.
I was pretty nice. Like I wasn't mean. I was mostly just sad and insecure and had self-esteem problems. That was my issue.
Well, that's depressing.
Well, there it is.
All worked out.
I mean, it did because even though I had self-esteem issues and I was sad and I felt like I didn't fit in, at the same time, I didn't want to do what I would have had to do to fit in. It was just about figuring out I don't belong, but I don't need to. I can just do me and F the rest of this. But it took a long time. Like middle school was tough, and by the time I got to high school, I finally got to the point where like Luna is in Order of the Phoenix, where it's just like F this. I'm just gonna do me. I don't care about these other people. But it took a long time, and I just remember reading that book and thinking, like I intrinsically in my being get Luna because I feel like I've been where Luna is with like people stealing her stuff or just calling her loony Lovegood. Like I wasn't out and out bullied in the way that Luna was, but you know, I heard people talking about me being weird and all that kind of stuff. So that felt real to me and I got that.
They're just jealous that Luna was friends with Harry Potter.
I mean, I wasn't friends with Harry Potter, so I did not have that going for me. But
See, you should have became friends with your school's Harry Potter.
we did not have a Harry Potter.
No,
No.
no orphan children in your school.
If they were orphans, I didn't know it. um so I mean that's why I like Luna, because I see a lot of myself in Luna. Um
The weirdo who is also a nice person. I mean, she was those things, but
I
the hype around it is the way that she like kind of helped Harry. She had as big of an impact in helping Harry understand death as Dumbledore did, really.
Yeah. And I do think Dan makes a good point. He mentioned it up above that she's just effervescent and very positive. She's always positive and gentle. Like with Dobby's death, when she closes his eyes and she just says, "There, he could be sleeping." You know, like that's a good moment for Harry. Yes, it's definitely as big as Dumbledore. Luna Lovegood is the person who helps Harry process his grief over Sirius. She is the one person who can get through to him at the end of Order of the Phoenix and helps him deal with his grief for Sirius. That's huge.
Cedric and Dobby. She's kind of there to help him through all the death scenarios.
Yeah. And you know, she's the other person who can see Thestrals. She's also the one person in that friend group who has lost a parent other than Neville. Neville's lost his parents, they're not dead, but he has lost them to a degree, right? They're catatonic pretty much. But Luna has lost a loved one, a parent to death. That is an intrinsic link she shares with Harry. It doesn't matter that it's a major point in Voldemort's defeat. It matters in that it further progresses Harry's understanding and acceptance of death, which does later contribute to Voldemort's defeat.
Which is just kind of like Dumbledore's impact on Harry, really.
This is bigger than just Voldemort's defeat. This is greater overarching theme of the series as a whole, and Luna
Although
plays an integral part in that.
she does contribute because he would have never found the diadem if it wasn't for Luna's
That's
insight.
true. Luna helps him find the diadem. That's absolutely correct, because she is the only one who tells him truthfully that she believes the diadem exists, that it's out there, and she does help him find it. Everyone else is like, don't listen to her, she nuts. And Luna's like, no, 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 this is what it says.
Yeah.
And then he goes and finds the Grey Lady. Luna helps him there. So she absolutely is integral to Voldemort's defeat. If you want to get to like the nitty gritty, like literal understanding of the text versus the greater whole, overarching theme, like big idea stuff.
Like Dumbledore is more in your face with how he helps Harry, but Luna is just kind of in the background, consistently helping Harry throughout.
Yes, Luna did help Ollivander while in the Malfoy dungeon. I'm sure she comforted him and kept his morale up and did what she could, because they were imprisoned together. She also, I think, does help Harry think about things in a different way. Because she's just so off the wall in her ideas, right? So Harry's got Ron, who's the steadfast, loyal best friend, always backs him. He's 100% loyal. He's his second, like he says in the first book. That's Ron's role. He's his dude.
Yeah.
Hermione is the logic and the planning and the information. And that's Hermione.
Luna's the out of the box thinking.
Luna is the creativity, out of the box kind of thing that Harry needs, and also the comfort and support in the face of death. And then Ginny, of course, is also support as well, and then the eventual love interest.
And yeah, how Luna was the one that introduces Thestrals in the movie. Although we get into Thestrals, we get into a bunch of
other stuff.
Debate on whether or not there's a...
You know, I didn't hate that scene in Order of the Phoenix. It doesn't follow the book, but if you look at it from a film standpoint, it's not terrible that Luna introduces Harry to the Thestrals and how that scene works. That scene actually works pretty well. Because they talk about the Thestrals anyway. So you're taking Hagrid's class and what happens on the train and just kind of combining it together into this scene.
Like, Luna is the one who helps him through his acceptance of death, so it's also kind of appropriate that she were the one who like introduced him to the Thestrals.
Yeah.
Given their connection with death and everything.
And she is the one, you know, after they get off the train and stuff, she does say to him, you know, don't worry, I can see them too. So it was a logical connection for the filmmakers to make, to just chop this, and just create something different, which is, I think, a smart choice on the director's part. The book goes through it. Neville says he can see the Thestrals and stuff in the book. I don't really remember the movie very well. Maybe I need to watch it again. But honestly, I doubt that they put that in the movie. I'm not saying that Luna and Dumbledore are on the same caliber, but they play similar roles in helping Harry accept death. Luna is crucial in helping Harry accept Sirius's death. I'm not even gonna touch that one about Sirius because this is not a.
Well, I mean, Luna helps him destroy a Horcrux.
She does help him
Leads him
destroy a
to destroy
Horcrux.
it. And I mean, I guess you could argue that, was it Crab or Goyle killed himself there? Crab or Goyle?
Crab did the fiend fire.
Yeah, they helped out too. But then the whole, Snape and Dumbledore's plan. Luna was also a part of Dumbledore's army while Harry and Hermione and Ron and everyone were outside of Hogwarts for that year, disrupting Snape and Voldemort's plan.
And
So she was,
during the Battle of Hogwarts, Luna helps fend off the Dementors so Harry, Ron, and Hermione can get into the Whomping Willow.
yeah, like it's
So
debatable, but she definitely plays a huge part.
She does. She's a part of the Silver Trio. There's a reason why she's a part of the Silver Trio. She, Neville and Ginny are like the backup support for the Golden Trio, Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I was confused, because it's Crab in the book and Goyle in the movie.
Okay, so real quick, I'm just gonna, since we got two people now talking about Sirius, I'm just gonna put it out here, and then we're not gonna talk about Sirius anymore because this is not about Sirius.
Because Sirius's death played
Sirius is death, but you've got Dennis saying Sirius is a despicable douchebag, and then you've got PS arguing the opposite. So, yes,
I mean,
Sirius went to Azkaban for 12 years. Sirius was 21 when he went to prison. He is suffering from arrested development. So even though he's in his 30s when he gets out of prison, he is mentally still 21, compounded by whatever went on when he was in prison, which was probably awful, and he probably has some serious PTSD, right? So he's emotionally stunted, he's traumatized, and then he gets locked back up again in the house that he ran away from, which is going to compound all the issues he has. Sirius is incredibly troubled, and has a lot of issues going on. I would not say he's an awful person.
I would agree he's an asshole, but despicable. No, like personality-wise, yeah, he's an a-hole. But
Wow, really?
I mean, you can't deny, but yeah, in some cases he does come across as that. Not saying there isn't reason behind it, just saying.
Well, yeah, like when he says
I
you're less
think,
like your
but
father
I just
than
think like calling him despicable is a bit much, a little extreme.
Yeah, that's far. I don't look at Sirius as an a-hole.
Did Sirius
I don't
like personally offend you?
Right? Where did Sirius hurt you?
But I mean, yeah, he was bad before that as well, but he was also in high school. If you've been to high school, like 90% of the kids are despicable.
Thank you for getting us back on track. Luna is what kept Ollivander alive. This is not going to be a serious fight. This is not about Sirius right now. I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there about how I personally feel about Sirius. He is one of my favorite characters, but also so is Voldemort. And Voldemort's not nice. I mean, Cersei is one of my favorite characters. She is very not nice.
That's true.
But I don't think Sirius is a bad guy. But that is a topic for another discussion. Yeah, I think Luna's positivity and morale are what helped Ollivander get through whatever the hell went on with him.
There's no one you want more as a cellmate
than Luna. Yeah. If I had to be stuck in a dungeon with somebody, I think I'd want it to be Luna. Or, well, I could think of a couple of other people.
I would want to be stuck with Dobby because he could just apparate us out.
That's true. I would take Creature.
Even Creature. Any house elf.
Really. Any house elf. Any house elf. That's true. Any house elf would be good. Um, and that act of her like closing his eyes and saying he could just be sleeping shows that she doesn't share the rest of the wizarding world's prejudices against house elves. She's very generous and kind and treats him like just another being. Um, Luna is very open and accepting in that way.
Yeah.
Um, Harry also takes her to Slughorn's party.
That's right. He does.
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
And all the girls are like, I want to go with Harry Potter. And then everyone's like, he's going with Luna Lovegood. Did you? And they,
The earrings she wore. I remember she wore some weird earrings. Was it like onions or something?
I don't remember. I'd have to get the book out. But Harry
I was
had
hoping you
like,
remembered.
Harry accidentally dyed his eyebrow yellow when he asked her. And she's like, oh, should I do mine too? So we can match? I thought it was so cute. Um, and there's a moment where she says she misses Dumbledore's army because it was like having friends.
Yeah.
Like, Luna has an uncanny ability to just strike directly, boom, right into your heart with some really blunt, truly honest shit. She's not going to sugarcoat anything. She's not going to dance around it and make it sound pretty. She's just going to say shit. And she says that, and Harry is like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Um,
I didn't realize it meant that much to you. Luna.
right. Um, see, Ben, I never thought Harry and Luna should have gotten together. I never liked Harry and Luna together, and here's why. I feel like Harry and Luna, while they get along and they share this bond over death, I feel like they are not compatible together. Um, I feel like Harry would get very frustrated with Luna. I don't think Harry has the patience necessary to deal with Luna. Um, I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I know like opposites attract, but I think they are just two different sides of the world. Like two different.
Yeah, they don't operate in the same way.
It's like making a peanut butter and tomato sandwich. Just doesn't go together.
No. Um,
Sinchan says radish. No, it was radish on the train.
I'm gonna get the book.
Okay.
All my cave notes. Look at all my notes for the cave.
Snape reminded Sirius of his own family. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think she wore the radish earrings to the Christmas party either, but I can't remember. Or maybe I'm just thinking of it was a movieism where she wore something different.
She wore that. She wears like, oh my god, and she and Trelawney like talk about the Cornelius Fudge conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm gonna get there. Y'all keep chatting while I find this.
It'd be a funny bicker. I mean, they would be funny. I don't think they would last. Luna and Harry. Luna and Neville would be great.
Oh, it's this one. Yeah,
Luna and Neville, I think.
the Rotfang conspiracy. That's what she's talking about. Sorry, I just interrupted your thoughts.
Luna and Neville make more sense to me than Luna and Harry. That's for sure.
Melanie is like, absolutely not. No, no tomato and peanut butter. Absolutely not. All right. Um,
See, she left the radish earrings off.
yeah, this is what it says. She was wearing a set of spangled silver robes that were attracting a certain amount of giggles from the onlookers, but otherwise she looked quite nice. Harry was glad, in any case, that she had left off her radish earrings, her butterbeer cork necklace, and her spectre specs.
Oh, it was the butterbeer earrings.
No, butterbeer necklace.
Oh, butterbeer necklace.
Right. So she didn't wear that stuff.
Okay.
She just wore the robes. So earrings are mentioned, but it's the fact that she's not wearing any.
Okay, that's why. Ron's latent affection towards Luna, he mentioned it twice. No, we haven't talked
no,
about
we
that.
didn't talk about that. Oh my god, yeah. At one point, Ron's like, she was great for a laugh.
Yeah.
Ron straight up is rude about Luna multiple times. He is. Because for a long time, Ron just treats Luna like she's weird entertainment.
I don't think Ron was any more rude than Hermione.
Yeah, okay, fair. Ben, I get that. I get Harry and Ginny. It works for me, but I do understand why a lot of people aren't about that. Um, it just works for me. I get it. I don't know. I feel like they set that up in Chamber of Secrets, honestly, for Harry and Ginny to get together. But that's another topic for another time.
Yeah, she wore a weird dress, that's for sure.
Right. She wore something that definitely attracted everyone's attention. Yeah, she grew on him.
Yep, and Luna hand painted pictures of her friends in her room, which is, Harry felt a surge of love, but at the same time, if I saw that, I'd also kind of be like, little weird.
Yeah, but if you know Luna as a person at that point, you know it's just from genuine love and affection. Like every time I read that part where he looks up and he sees the painting, like it gets me. Like it makes me um get emotional. I'm like, "Oh, Luna. Oh."
Yeah, Ron does say at some point that she grows on him.
Yeah.
And yet, Ron is just rude to anyone. I mean, he was rude to Hermione, and look how that ended.
Yeah, Ron is just kind of rude in general sometimes. Ron's social etiquette is not good. The man needs help. Um,
Yep, and Ginny was rude too because she called her Loony Lovegood.
yeah.
That's what I mean. Just everyone's kind of rude to Luna at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
You see this weird girl at first, and then you're like, oh, well, she actually knows some stuff. She actually does belong in Ravenclaw.
Mm-hmm. I think Dennis asked how many times we stream per week. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. We try to stream once a week. It's just been very difficult with our daughter's baseball. So it's kind of rough and rocky right now.
Yeah.
Usually we try to stream every Thursday. That's like our thing.
Once T-ball season is over, it'll
we'll get back to normalcy.
But for now, it's just kind of hit or miss.
I have to use the bathroom. I will be right back.
Okay. I was only rude to Luna about Hagrid's teaching capabilities. Other than that, he enjoyed her comments and commentaries vocally. Yeah, I mean, I think he said that she was like rude or something, or not rude, weird or something a couple times, like Harry. But yeah, I think the only time he was straight up rude to Luna was Hagrid's teaching. When Amy gives Penny the huge painting of the two of them. I never watched The Big Bang Theory. I'm sorry. I don't get that reference. Ron throws knives at his brother. Wait, what? I don't remember that. It's kind of bad though because they only stop when she joins them. Well, yeah, it's Yeah, it's that moment in a kid's life where they realize they need to get to know a person before they judge them. You know, something that just every kid needs to learn. Don't judge a book by its cover, which usually happens around like middle school, high school. Huge commentary mocking people behind their backs. Yeah. I think Luna is a butt to take in. I have a feeling that was a typo, but it's just a funny typo. I think Luna is a butt to take in. I mean, talking all the rubbish her father puts in her head and the Quibbler, so yeah, I can understand why people thought she was weird. Yeah, I mean, it's not all Luna's fault. Like her dad is the one that's kind of showing her all this stuff, reading the Quibbler.
Also, great moment in Deathly Hallows when they're at the wedding and Harry is sitting with Crumb and Luna's like dancing funny and Crumb is like, "What is that girl doing?" And Harry's just like so nonchalant, like he's probably trying to get the rack spurts out of her ears.
The perfect contrast moment between when Harry first met Luna to after he knows her. It's just like, it's just who she is.
Yeah. And then Crumb is like, "The what?"
It's like a good version of that one coworker who's always an a-hole, and they're just an a-hole so consistently that people are just like, it's just who they are. You get used to it.
Like, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
There's always that one coworker that gets
Yep.
away with it.
Yep. If only Ron and Ginny ended up together. Listen, they're not Targaryens for God's sake. Come on now.
But they could be. There are dragons.
I mean, Charlie's the one that works with them, so in theory, he should marry Ginny. Then it'd be real Targaryenness.
Yeah, maybe. That's why Molly wanted a daughter so bad. To keep the blood strong. They were purebloods. I mean, it's not too far off for
They
them to
were
do that.
purebloods. I mean, Arthur and Molly are probably distantly related.
So it's not that weird to think about. I mean, it is weird, but in the context,
I mean, um, I wish Harry Barney had revealed himself to Crumb. Or if like Crumb somehow figured out that it was Harry without him revealing himself. Like if Harry said something and Crumb was like, wait, you are Harry Potter. um Also, Luna is Ron's neighbor.
very distant neighbor. I mean,
But she is their neighbor because the first time the Lovegoods are mentioned is in book 4.
yep.
When they're walking to the port key.
Yeah, I don't remember what they say, but I do remember.
But it's I don't remember exact words, but it's pretty much like, "Oh, it's up past the Lovegoods this way, blah blah blah."
Yeah. Somewhere that Harry and Ginny are third cousins, which is certainly distant enough for marriage.
Yeah, that's distant
Yeah.
enough for marriage. Yeah, because Harry also comes from a pure bloodline.
I mean, I feel like no matter what, when you say your relations or like if you have cousin or anything like that in your relations with someone, I think it's too close personally, but technically, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, they say the Lovegoods are like they live over the hill or something. Yeah. I'm sorry, but the fact that none of the children are named after Minerva is disgraceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one girl is named Lily Luna,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Luna took it.
But I mean,
Anyone was gonna get it, I guess, but still, it's come on. She was that mother, not mother figure.
she was. But also Lily Luna, you got to also think like What's gonna sound better, Lily Luna or Lily Minerva?
Honestly, I don't think it sounds that bad.
No, it doesn't. But which one sounds better? The alliteration. Also, J.K. Rowling really likes alliteration, so Lily Luna. Also, like, Luna is very important to Harry. That's why she's important. She's very important to Harry in a different way than
I agree,
McGonagall
but
is. Um,
McGonagall deserves a name too. He better
okay,
he better have
yeah,
another
she does.
child.
She
Just
does.
to name
She
it
does.
Minerva.
I'm not arguing that. Um, just give them strange names like everyone else has. Well, I mean, James Sirius is pretty normal.
Yeah.
It's really Albus Severus that's out there.
Like Harry's parents were the only ones that didn't have like weird names really.
Ron, though, like Ron is a pretty normal name.
I meant like uh, older individuals that we know.
Oh, like the previous generation.
Yeah.
Lucius isn't like super
Too
weird.
bad Cho Chang didn't help out. Lily Cho Chang Potter.
Right? I personally like all the alliteration with Rowling's characters. I find it really fun. Um, Luna Lovegood, again, is another example. LL. Um, I think the Weasley family with the normal names, though, can be tied back to Arthurian legend, which is a topic for another time. Because we do not need to talk about Arthurian legend and how deeply it connects to the Weasley family, because that is an entire video in and of itself. Because it's very there and it's very purposeful. So
That's another video. Because
that is a whole other
like I said,
conversation.
I'm sure there's a lot I missed with Luna putting together that video.
Yeah.
Because even like the moon, honestly, we probably could have just made a 10 to 15-minute video based on
Her name and
the
the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the
And the
moon,
way it relates to the story and like mythology and religion.
the moon is such an important facet of human culture from day one. And it is deeply embedded in mythologies and histories and cultures. So yeah, it could be a huge video as far as the moon and how it relates to Luna and the significance of the moon in the series. It could be like a whole thing. Oh, Melanie is like, do that. Do another Luna video or do a video just on the moon. I mean, we could. We could do, like, I know there are a lot of Harry Potter videos out there that like do like the theories and stuff like that, but we could do more of like the classic literature symbolism lens of Potter, because there's a lot of that in there. Like we could do literary alchemy, we could do the significance of the moon, the hero's journey, the even the house symbols, the badger, the eagle, the lion, the serpent, and all the serpent imagery and language in the book. Like there's so much stuff that we could do just about from like the literary analysis standpoint. There's tons of stuff that we could do.
Well, that's more of a you thing.
That is more of a me thing. I would write it. You would edit it. Melanie is all about the literary alchemy. Yes. So I know this doesn't have anything to do with Luna, but I'm just going to ask you real quick, Melanie, have you seen the idea that the Potter series is literally literary alchemy in Harry's journey, and it is a alchemic regression to the base and then progression to the perfect? So it's basically like red, white, black to then black, white, red. let me know if you've heard of that. Like a ring. Yes, ring theory. Another project that we have in the works, the ring theory in Harry Potter, all the parallels, etc. stuff. Um,
Also, Beowulf, Albus, Percival, Wulfric, Brian Dumbledore.
yes.
Yeah.
Beowulf for sure.
There's so much with like mythology and religion in the book. It's ridiculous.
Grindelwald, Grendel, absolutely.
Like I know the big one is like Christianity,
Christianity is huge,
with
but
Harry being Jesus, but there's so much buried in there.
there's also even like a simple one like Remus Lupin. Romulus and Remus were the founders of Rome. They were two children who were nursed by wolves. Lupin is similar to lupine, which is wolf. Lupus, wolf. So his name is literally Wolf Wolf. Um,
He's Moon Moon.
Lupin is Moon Moon. Yes. Let's bring it all the way back to Moon Moon. Melanie. Oh my God, Melanie. I'm just going to say this is not the time or place, but I think you and I should have a conversation about ring theory in Harry Potter and the crazy amount of paralleling that goes on in the series. Katie and I have been working on finding all of the parallels within the books. So basically, the idea is that from the beginning and the end, so first chapter, last chapter, they parallel each other, and each chapter going in parallels the chapters, and then there is a middle point. And then expanding further outward, books 1 and 7 parallel each other, books 2 and 6 parallel each other, 3 and 5, and then book 4 parallels all the other books. So I would love to have that conversation sometime because I think that's something you would be really, really into.
Those are more videos I need to work on.
Those are videos you need to work on, and those are also videos that I need to continue to produce scripts for because Katie is currently working on book 3, and I still need to finish book 2.
Dare you?
She had more time on her hands, man. I didn't. Anyway. Yes, and his Potter Watch nickname was Romulus, so you had Remus and Romulus. There it is. Yes, Flamel is a real person related to the stone. Absolutely. Well, you can think it's a stretched theory. It is very, very clear the number of parallels that are in.
To
Melanie,
be fair, there are
you
some.
might, Melanie, you might know it as something else.
Ring composition.
Not ring composition. Hang on, I can't.
But okay, so what I was gonna say, to be fair, some of the parallels are a little bit far fetched, but then there are a lot that are kind of obvious once you hear them.
Melanie, does chiastic structure, chiastic structure, does that sound familiar to you? Because that maybe I think you would know that definition.
The book you're planning to write, are you willing to give out any?
I don't want to.
What's the genre? How about that? Just give us that. I don't even know. You've been keeping it secret from me. I don't even know what you're writing.
If I had to put it in a genre, I would definitely probably say, like, if a publisher were to look at it, probably say it would belong in fantasy, supernatural. I don't know,
Like
fantasy,
dark fantasy or
dark. I guess dark fantasy maybe would be the best way I could put it. So Melanie, basically chiastic structure is it's a method of telling a story where it's a ring, where you basically start at a point, you go around in a circle and end up back where you were, but you're changed. And that there is a very defined middle point, and that there are parallels on each side.
Well, isn't that also a quality of the hero's journey?
It
That
is
the
part of the
hero
hero's
has to
journey.
return
It is,
home with the knowledge and
yes.
experience that he's gained.
But the hero's journey is also kind of born out of chiastic structure, which is a chiastic structure is something that is kind of innate to human storytelling. Humans have a tendency to tell the circle story. So yeah, the hero's journey is intrinsically chiastic in structure.
Okay.
So they're connected. No, there are so many parallels in these books that you can't say it's vague, you can't say it's accidental. Rowling definitely planned all of this. There are even language similarities between parallel chapters that are just unreal.
I think the one thing that got me that I started to be like, okay, maybe she really did, was the fact that the middle chapter in the middle book happens at midnight.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like
literally the
middle of
exact
story.
midpoint of the story. The middle chapter in the middle book, which is 4, does happen at midnight. There are some crazy parallels that are just absolutely bananas. But this has nothing to do with Luna. Just saying, it doesn't.
Maybe there's parallels within Luna's story.
I'm sure there are if I like thought about it. Yeah, probably. But even that in and of itself, book 4 is the middle book and it parallels all the other books, and that is the first time the Lovegoods are mentioned. There you go.
I do not have the OCD needed to do that in any writing.
I think
I also just don't have the patience to write personally, so that would probably be hard too.
so. Melanie, the midpoint at midnight is when Harry goes to see the dragons.
Yeah, doesn't
With
he meets
Hagrid.
at
He meets
midnight.
Hagrid in the forest to see the dragons. So here's a parallel. This is a parallel between Melanie. I think you'll like this. Here's a parallel between books 1, 4, and 7. In book 1, books 1, 4, and 7 are the only books in which dragons are physically present. In book 1, it is a baby dragon at the beginning of its life. In book 4, it is a mother dragon guarding her eggs. And in book 7, it's an old dragon at the end of its life. There's just, that's a very broad parallel, but there is a parallel. So you have dragons in books 1 and 7. So you have the parallel between 1 and 7, beginning of life, end of life. And then you have the parallel in the middle with the mother dragon, which is kind of the midpoint. You're a dragon in the prime of its youth, but also creating life.
From the end, Lupin's in book 3, L&L.
Melanie sees it.
And Moons. I mean, yeah, Dan, that's one of those I would say would be a stretch, but yeah, kind of.
I mean, I don't know how much of that is really a stretch. Considering how much detail Rowling puts into everything, you introduce Lupin, who is a character associated with the moon in book 3, and then you introduce Luna in 5, who is also another character who is associated with the moon in a different sense, but you have books 3 and 4, or 3 and 5. I think that could be legitimate.
Maybe. I'm just saying that's definitely near the pushing it.
You calling that
pushing
tinfoil
line.
a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
You're seeing the glimmer off the tinfoil there. Not quite wearing it yet, but.
So we know that the Ukrainian Iron Belly is older because, first of all, in Goblet of Fire, it is very specifically stated that the dragons in the tournament are nursing or egg nesting mothers, right? They're guarding their eggs. The dragon in Deathly Hallows is described as like old and having been there for a really long time. So you can
And just physical description.
physical description of the dragon too. It's very
Like it's
pale.
blind.
It's blind. It's pale. It like takes a hot minute to like get going because it hasn't used its wings in so long. Like all of those things are an indication that that dragon has been there for a really long time.
Yeah.
Melanie is also down for the moon parallels, like the Lupin Luna parallel. She's like, yeah. Right, but it's not just pale, it's everything else that encompasses the entire description of the dragon. So it's not just the fact that it's pale, it's everything else. It's scarred, it's scared, it doesn't know what to do with itself once it's released. It like has to figure out how to fly again.
Tattered and
yeah. There's age indicated with this dragon.
It was either there a very long time or those goblins put in work on that dragon.
Yeah, it's described as looking sickly. It's almost blind. Like, it's been there for a long time.
It doesn't really matter if it's, like, that old, but it's also probably near the end of its life at this point.
Even if it's not old, yeah. Even if it's not old, it is still near the end of its life, which still fits the parallel spectrum. Beginning of life, middle of life, end of life. Even if the dragon isn't old, it's still probably near the end of its life because has been through all of this stuff.
Also, just a fun fact that that's also something the moon represents, is the life cycle. You have the new moon.
Right. We wouldn't say it's near the end of its life. That's not the point. It doesn't have to explicitly state that. Yeah, it escaped. Right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to explicitly say it was so old it was almost dying.
So that'd just kind of be bad writing.
That's bad writing. Yeah. You show, you don't tell. You could say it's a resurrected dragon. That's true. Not as old as Smaug, but older than any of the House of the Dragons. Dragons can live for a long time.
Maybe not, though. Vhagar is very old. Vagar's
like
180 right now.
I was gonna say 170 something. So yeah, Vhagar is really old.
I'm not sure where we are in the story, but she might be in late 70s, but late 170. But yeah, I mean, she was there with Balerion the Black Dread.
Yeah,
and Meraxes.
I
don't know how old Meraxes is, but she's up there with Vhagar too.
Well, she's dead. So, moment of silence for Meraxes.
Wait, did she die in House of the Dragon?
She died during the conquest. The Dornish killed her.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking
You were thinking of Meleys.
Meleys, yeah.
Yeah. It's born mid-death stages because, okay, in book 1, you have Norbert. Norbert is a baby dragon hatched from an egg. That is the beginning of life. And then you have the mother dragons nesting. That's the middle of life.
Yeah, usually people have kids near the middle of their life.
Right. Usually the middle point is I have children.
Maybe, yeah. Anywhere from like a third to half.
The middle point, you're having children. That's the midpoint. You're having children. You're in your prime. You're living your best life in this moment. And then at the end, you're sickly, you're dying, you're old, you're like that dragon.
You have the scars.
You have the scars of life. Yeah, you have the scars, the burns, the tattered weariness of life. That's the end dead stage. Doesn't have to be close to death. It doesn't have to be like literally dying to indicate end of life. The dragon could live for another couple of years. The point is that it is in the later stages of its life. That's the parallel. It doesn't have to drop dead while Harry, Ron, and Hermione are flying for the point and the symbolism to be apparent.
What a great scene, though.
If it had a heart attack and just started
Yeah.
falling. Um, but it is clearly an elderly, sicker dragon in the later stages of its life. That is indicated by the writing. So therefore it demonstrates those 3 milestones. We are so not talking about Luna right now.
Well, that's why I was trying to get it back because the moon also represents the stages of life. People
That's
believe.
true. That's true. The moon has been a marker for that.
Yeah.
For a long time. Would you like to talk about that?
Well, yeah, I was going to. I forgot how I was going to segue in, but yeah.
Well, let's just segue into it right now, because
You have the new moon, which can
we're talking
represent-
about dragons is not got anything to do with this stream right now. So that is a topic for another.
Then you have the waxing moon, which is like, just a small sliver, the birth, adolescence.
Yeah.
Then you have it grow until it's a full moon, which is, like we were saying, the prime of your life. You're having kids doing stuff and being adventurous.
Buying houses, going on vacation,
And then
buying cars if you got money.
and then it slowly wanes until a new moon.
And that is death.
And that is death. And then it repeats.
So Luna literally represents the cycle of life.
And death.
Which
Which
part of life is death.
Which fits her character.
Yes, it does. Very much so.
The moon has also been used to represent strong female characters throughout history.
Yeah,
because
the
it's
moon has been
associated-
associated with femininity for a long time.
The moon cycle is 29 days, I think, or a little more, a little less than that, I think. So it's been associated with like the women's menstrual cycle, which is how it originally became a symbol of like the strong feminine woman. Was that right? 29?
No, I was just looking this up real quick. So there's also a card in tarot called the moon. And that card literally, when you get that card, it means that there is a time of illusion or deception and fear, that something is going on in your life that is not what it seems to be. And that you need to have the shroud pulled off of your eyes to be able to see what's really going on. And that's a lot of what Harry has to deal with in this book, is that this whole thing with Voldemort, he doesn't really know what's going on. He's scared and he's not given the truth. There's a lot of pushing away and not giving him information.
I'll tell you when you're older moments.
Yeah. So there's also kind of that element to it. Like when you get the moon card, it means that there's something going on in your life. Someone is either deceiving you or not telling you the whole truth, but there's something going on, that there is more than meets the eye here, and you're not getting the full big picture. And that is exactly what Harry goes through for the entirety of the book. That is like the big struggle, is the fact that no one is telling him everything or anything, and nothing is what it seems to be, because he doesn't know what's going on. And it's just and then you've got Luna, who is brutally honest, which is a great juxtaposition to that idea of the moon.
And then I mention it in the video, but the moon is also seen as like a connection between life and death, the conscious and unconscious, because it sheds light on the darkness. It reflects the light from the sun.
Right.
And Harry is left in the dark, and she's the one that gives him little glimpses of what's really going on.
And when Harry is in the dark about Sirius and really upset, she gives him the light to pull himself through his grief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. We could do like a 15-minute video.
Just on the
Yeah.
moon. Yeah.
We haven't even really gotten into the mythology references.
We could even talk about the moon in Azkaban. Sirius is not what he appears to be, right? Like that whole thing. Lupin is not what he appears to be. There are all these delusions or illusions, sorry, that are going on that nothing is what it seems. And the moon is a constant in that book. So yeah, we could talk about the moon a lot, I feel like, in Harry Potter. We could do a whole video on the moon.
Easter is based on the lunar cycle. If it meant to represent Jesus, which of course is just the cover up for the spring birth. I mean, there might be some reference there.
There very well could be.
Because, you know, Harry's supposed to be Jesus, basically.
According to historical records, Jesus was probably born in July.
No, but Easter is when he, like,
Resurrected himself. I'm talking about the actual, because Harry was physically born in July. I was just throwing that out.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's another whole video in and of itself, too.
Can you make a connection between Luna and Artemis Diana?
Yes. Because Artemis was the goddess of the moon. She was represented by Artemis. Artemis is basically just the Greeks' version of Luna, the Roman goddess of the moon. And
isn't she also the goddess of the hunt?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why they call it's the moon, and the full moon in October or November is called the hunter's moon. It comes back from Artemis.
I think Diana would be the Roman iteration.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Diana and Luna are like the same thing.
Artemis and Diana?
No, Artemis is Greek.
Oh, no, you mean the literal
Luna
name.
Luna and Diana, I believe, are the same goddess.
Okay,
just different names for the same goddess.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
Artemis is technically the same goddess, just the Greek's version. So, little bit different.
I got you. Well, she does hunt for new species. That is true.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, she does hunt animals, just doesn't, kill them in the end. Wonder how Thestral tastes.
Probably not very good. They're very bony. There's not a lot of meat on there.
We're making a broth, a soup.
Thestral
stew.
Broth?
Yeah.
I have to pee again. I'm very sorry.
You and your bladder, my God.
I'm also like...
Yeah, pretty sure Diana was the Roman goddess, and either she is another goddess that is very connected to Luna, or she is the same goddess. I can't quite remember, actually. Well, we have a moment while we're waiting for her. Let me just Google that real quick. I don't want Lena goddess. Diana's the female. Oh, that's another thing. Across multiple religions, the moon is always represented as feminine, while the sun is represented as masculine. It's not always a distinct goddess, but sometimes rather I thought it said epithet that specializes a goddess, since both Diana and Juno are identified as moon goddesses. So Luna is, yeah,
She is the mother goddess too. So she is like the mom.
The Hunter's Moon is an amazing book. I didn't realize it was a book. What's it about? Actually, I did know that. It sounds familiar. Have you read The Hunter's Moon? Wow. Well, I'm Googling stuff. I can do that real quick.
Oh, Vane showed up. Very nice. Hello, Vane. Welcome.
Philip Caputo? Randy Wayne Wright? White?
A young girl gets kidnapped by fairies in Ireland. Ooh.
I mean, I have been dying to learn a little bit more about like Irish mythology and folklore, so that might be interesting.
Um, I'm just trying to think about more about Luna.
Basically covered everything on her.
We did talk a lot. We also went on a lot of tangents.
We did.
But it wouldn't be a BiblioBibuli stream without some tangents.
Life has been pretty good, Vane. How's it been going for you?
Yeah, how have you been? We haven't seen you in a stream in a hot minute, but we also haven't done a stream in a hot minute.
I remember him in the last stream.
Yeah.
But,
It's just been a while. I miss doing streams with y'all. Hair Patronus. Luna's Patronus? Are you talking about
Yeah, it's a
Luna's
hare.
Patronus? Yeah, it's a hare. Which is
Wasn't-
really ironic because
Diana's or maybe Artemis's chariot pulled by hares?
I'm not sure.
Could have sworn one of them did. That would make sense if it was. Make a lot of sense.
All I'm thinking about is Freya and her cat chariot, so
Oh.
that doesn't help.
Not Thor and his goat chariot.
I always think of Freya and her cat chariot every time. I want a cat chariot.
I'm gonna look this up real quick. You just carry on. Don't mind me.
Good for you, Vane. That's awesome. That's always such a nice feeling to have a new space that you really like. He said he just moved into a new apartment. He really likes it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Good for you.
Congrats.
That's awesome. As two
It's always the
individuals
best
who would
feeling.
as two individuals who would like to move, we feel you. That's freaking phenomenal. I'm glad you're happy where you are.
Oh, apparently this was in the New York Times crossword. Oh no, Artemis's chariot is pulled by deer. You know, she's a hunter, so it makes sense. Let's see. What about Diana?
I mean, in Celtic tradition, the hare is sacred to the goddess and is the totem animal of lunar goddesses such as Hecate, Freya, and Holda. The hare is a symbol for the moon.
Well, there it is. That's
There
the
it is.
connection. I knew there had to be something in there.
Yep. The hare is a symbol for the moon in Celtic culture. So there it is.
See, now if I knew more about Celtic folklore, I would have known that. This is why I need to
Yeah.
learn this.
The rabbit or the hare may also signify rebirth or resurrection.
There it is again.
There it
Her
is again.
connection with death and rebirth, and
Yep, there it is again. The intention of rolling, for sure. Yeah. So there you go.
and we could have made like an hour-long video if we like really dived into all these meanings with
Luna.
Luna.
Well, we were not sure how deep to go.
That's true.
Maybe we should really go much deeper. It's very hard to tell when we start structuring these things, like how big do we want to go, because also who wants to watch an hour-long, 2-hour-long thing? I mean, I know a lot of you guys probably would, but
I watch documentaries all the time. They're like an hour long.
fair enough. All right. Dan is here for it. He's like, go all the way. Just keep going. Deeper and deeper.
Never ends.
But yeah. All right, so we just found out there's the hair significance. Oh, Vane, I am sorry that you have to deal with that, but I mean, that's good that you were able to get away from where you were. And I mean, if you can get over it because the place is so nice, hey, everything comes with a compromise, right?
Earplugs, you can get them for like, just 50 cents.
Yeah.
Or just turn the TV up real loud.
Luna's
But
wand.
I do have to ask, are these like happy screams or something terrible happening? That would be my first question. Like, are you okay? Oh, yeah, she just does that sometimes. Or maybe she has like Tourette's or something. That's why Jesus invented loud music. Exactly.
So Luna's original wand was confiscated by the Snatchers, and Ollivander made her a new one.
What was her original one? And her new one?
Never stated.
Well, that's a bummer. What do you think it would be based on Luna as a person? We'll close out with this.
I don't think they ever state what Luna's wand.
But based on her personality and what you know about like the different
I don't know enough about enough
characteristics.
wand woods. I at least would bet that the core is unicorn.
I also would say that it's probably flexible.
Melanie thinks potentially oak.
Possibly oak. I could see it because it's
I
very
could see oak.
firm, and she's very firm and strong to who she is. I could see oak being it.
I would definitely bet that the core is unicorn, though. Neville's wand is cherry, I think, which is very interesting.
What's that interesting? What does cherry mean? Other than it looks fabulous. Figuring it out. Unicorn hair and cherry.
Actually, acacia sounds like it could kind of work.
Related unicorn hair likely. Yeah. Acacia.
Did that?
Unicorn hair.
So
yeah,
acacia.
I think you're like looking up the same thing right now.
Well, acacia says a very unusual wand wood, which I have found creates tricky wands that often refuse to produce magic for any but their owner, and also withhold their best effects from all but those most gifted. The sensitivity renders them difficult to place, and I keep only a small stock for those witches or wizards of sufficient subtlety, for acacia is not suited to what is commonly known as bangs and smells magic. When well matched, an acacia wand matches any for
Bangs and smells?
flashy. When well matched, an acacia wand matches any for power, though it is often underrated due to the peculiarity of its temperament.
No, we know. Are acacia trees in the UK?
N-
I
ac- ac-
don't
no,
believe
acacia
so.
is like acacia is native to Africa, like hot and potentially more humid climates.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought Australia, but
I mean, they could potentially
what was that famous palm tree in the UK?
the lonely
The
palm
lonely
where
palm
the restaurant is.
that
Yeah, because it's the
died like
one
the
palm tree in Scotland.
yeah.
It's the only one in Scotland. Yeah.
It like died last year, I think.
Oh, that's really sad. I'm sad about that.
Good news is it was natural causes. It was just old.
I
I think it was
mean,
like 200 years old or something, which is about the life cycle of a palm tree.
cherry and unicorn hair. That's Neville's wand. Sorry. Yeah. A cherry wand is the most prized of the students at the Japanese School of Wizardry.
The cherry wand?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Cherry blossoms and
Yeah.
the sakura.
Yeah.
We have a lot of books there. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
This is actually just like a small percentage. We have another like 3 bookshelves in the other room full, and then we have some in the attic.
Yeah, we have tons of books in the attic. These are not all of our books. We have more books. So
We're actually probably going to be getting some new bookshelves to fill up more of the space back here.
yes, because this is not an accurate representation of everything we have. Um, so
Tolkienverse books? Well, you definitely have.
so
I mean, I did, but that was like back in middle school, high school. I haven't reread them in a long time.
I've only read The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and The Silmarillion. Those are the Tolkien books that I have read. I have not read any more. But I did
How
want to
many
read.
more are there?
There's all the stuff that Christopher Tolkien put out, like the Lost Tales and the Children of Húrin, and then
I
that
know
book
they're-
about Numenor that came out last year that I
The
wanted to read
illustrated Numenor edition. Yeah,
that I didn't read but I wanted to read.
I knew about that one, but I thought there
We
was.
talked about it. Yeah,
I thought there was only like that and maybe one other.
there are a few.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I've read The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and The Silmarillion. That's what I've read.
I mean, that pretty much covers most of the bases.
I freaking loved The Silmarillion and kind of want to read it again. Not gonna lie.
You do you. Read it up. Yeah, it's right there on the bottom.
It is. We got 2 copies.
I got like halfway through it. That was the last like fiction book I began reading, and then what book was it?
Yes, you did, Dan. I remember that. You sent some Tolkien ebooks to us. I remember
Yep.
that.
I've gotten so ingrained in like nonfiction for like the past year. I don't know. Fiction has not appealed to me lately.
I have to finish his Dark Materials.
That's it. I got sucked
gotta do that.
into the book Why We Sleep, and that started me down the rabbit hole.
Silmarillion is so good, isn't it? Silmarillion is so good. I loved that book so much. Freaking love the Silmarillion. Actually joined a subreddit the other day. Silmarillion
Tolkien.
memes.
Oh,
Just Silmarillion memes. It's so funny. just it's a niche thing, but I'm gonna
I was gonna
appreciate
say.
it. It's very niche. The Feanor memes are fire. I don't know what do you want to say.
I would have to read all of them again because I remember the basic premise, but like a lot of the little details when it comes to Tolkien's world, I don't really remember.
I want to reread Lord of the Rings. It's been a while. I read The Hobbit like a few times, but it's been a while since I like read Lord of the Rings again, and I would like to read them again.
Kind of
Because
want.
I feel like I just read the Silmarillion. I've got a lot of that still in my brain, but I would like to reread. I'd like to reread Lord of the Rings now that I've read the Silmarillion, because I
Catch
feel
all
like
the
there'll be
little things.
yeah, there's going to be a lot more stuff that I'll pick up on. That'll be nice.
Mhm.
Um, I also want to reread A Song of Ice and Fire, because I feel like there's a lot of things. I read A Feast for Crows so fast.
I've been thinking about rereading them, but I also don't want to because I will then be sucked back in, and it's going to make the whole waiting for Winds of Winter that much harder.
worse. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Winds of Winter, now the Half-Life 3 of literature.
Oh.
And it's even funny because Gabe Newell looks a lot like George R. R. Martin.
Oh. Oh no.
You don't know what he looks like?
I've never seen him before. I never played Half-Life 2 games, so
Well, that doesn't. It's
yeah,
just
but I've
such.
never. But I'm saying like I've never.
It's
I
just
mean,
such a big meme. No, he's just always in the memes.
oh, so well then I've probably seen him, but just don't like. I probably would. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know who that dude is. I've seen him a million times, but I would not have known. Um, you're on book 2. Dang, gotta keep going, man. Book 2 is good. Book 3 is freaking awesome. Storm of Swords is so good. Storm of Swords is really good.
Yeah.
And Dance with Dragons is also really,
Which is
really
why it's even worse that Feast for Crows is kind of like the slowest book.
I
Out
feel
of
like I
those
need to
books,
reread them.
That's my bottom rung.
Feast for Crows. It's a
Yeah.
lot of people's bottom rung.
Mhm.
Because, like, yeah, a lot of people feel that way about Feast for Crows. That they're
'Cause
just
there's
like,
they talk about like 5 or 6 characters throughout the book, and only 2 of them you care about. The other ones are just there to help propel the story because you need to, and
but the Cersei chapters are so good.
they're all right.
That's the nice thing about Feast for Crows, though. You get Cersei's point of view. Oh my god, I just spoiled something for you. I'm so sorry.
150-year-old personal library in an abandoned, burnt-down house.
In Music Museum, my mother got rid of all my books. It's so
No.
old first editions gone. Ah.
I would have gotten emancipated, changed my name,
My soul
moved across the country. No. That's crazy.
I am in so much sadness for you. Oh my gosh.
I still hate that I got rid of my first edition of A Storm of Swords.
That's shit.
Mhm.
That sucks. I had a first edition US printing of the first Harry Potter book. I do not have it anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
So bad.
It hurts me. I try not to think about it, but every time I think about it, I'm like, mother.
I'm pretty sure I had a first edition of Game of Thrones too, but they were like big hardcovers, and I remember when I moved one time, I just didn't feel like taking everything, so I just took a big box and filled it with like a bunch of books and brought it to donate them, and they were in there.
Oh. Oh.
'Cause I was just like, I just read them. I'm good.
I I
They're big, they're bulky. I don't need them.
I don't know if. Well, that copy of God Emperor of Dune I have is like a first edition, second printing, I think.
That doesn't mean much.
I know. I'm trying to make myself feel better, okay?
Cersei is the character we love to hate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cersei's
I think at
awesome.
this point I just hate her though. Book Cersei. And
I
well,
just
yeah, movie Cersei or
the
not
thing
movie,
I
show
love about the
Cersei too.
Cersei chapters is that she does these things that are so stupid, but then she thinks she's so brilliant for doing them, and it's just like, girl, you are being an idiot right now. Like, that's what's great about the Cersei
She's
chapters.
Umbridge.
She is not Umbridge.
She's Umbridge.
Don't insult Cersei like that. Oh my god. Mm. Wow. Wow. Oh my god.
Poison.
Uh, that no, you stop that.
Half Blood Prince, first edition, first print.
Right? Don't insult Cersei like that. What came out before VHS? Um, what came out before VHS? Laserdisc? Like beta?
I think Laserdisc came out after because that was like the original DVD. I'm pretty sure VHS was like the first.
I don't think so.
I think it was the first, unless you had like a home projector with like the spindle of film.
Betamax. Betamax was the first.
I always thought Betamax was just like a VHS.
1975. Betamax, I think, came out first.
Now we know.
The first consumer usable VCR was released in 1972, followed in 1975 by the Betamax. But this came in VHS format with the Betamax. Oh my god, Betamax recorders continued to be manufactured and sold until 2002. That's a long time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh.
Did you had a Harry Potter first edition? No, you used to. You got
I
rid of it,
used
right?
to. Well, no, I didn't get rid of it. It was lost between moves. Yeah. Wasn't even
How
like I
many
got
first
rid of it.
editions lost in?
I know. I know.
I didn't really care at the time because I wasn't really like a collector. I didn't care because I would just read a book and then I just, donate it to the library or give it to someone.
Right.
But now looking back, I'm like, first edition Game of Thrones, they're probably worth like at least a few hundred.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones books, yeah, the first editions for sure. I'm trying to look on the shelf right now. I mean, I think that the Macedonian edition of Harry Potter that I have will probably be worth some money at some point.
Read ebook. What's the Dan? Serious question. What's the difference for you between like ebooks and regular books with your dyslexia? Because in my mind, like that would work the same. If you had trouble with normal books, you would also have trouble with ebooks.
Yeah, that's
Bigger font. Oh, okay.
makes it easier to see it. Oh yeah, ebooks I think you can adjust to like multiple sizes.
Yeah, you can
As
zoom
you
in and
yeah,
everything.
you can zoom in and stuff. Can't really do that with paper.
I do like it too because a lot of the e-readers you can just click on a word and like look up the definition and stuff if you don't know it. Which, when you're like me, reading a lot of
Uh-oh.
oh no,
I like paper.
when you're like me and reading a lot of nonfiction and you come across like a bunch of scientific words,
You
makes it
don't have
easy.
I like paper. But I also do not have dyslexia or anything else. I'm sure if I did, I would probably like e-readers better too. But I like paper. Let us know if we have dropped off the face of the earth.
Like reading One Fish, Two Fish. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. We have read that book so many times.
Instead of one fish, two fish, it's Dumbledore said calmly.
Smells nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm also, I mean, if we get into that debate, I am a old book person. I prefer the smell of old books than new books. That oxidized paper.
That old book
yeah.
smell is real nice.
I remember the worst book. I got. I want to see if it still smells.
Wow.
Okay, it doesn't.
Thank you, Melanie, for letting us know. I appreciate that.
I got this book, and this was the worst smelling book I ever received. It was like wrapped in plastic, but it just smelled like chemicals and burnt rubber. It was awful. I've never gotten a new book. Like, it was so demoralizing. Get a new book, like, oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be
Smells
great.
like it's going to give you cancer.
Open up the plastic and just instant.
Gotta open up
asthma.
the God Emperor of Dune. That smells nice.
How do you
Because
know?
it's like, this is like 50 years old. I opened up the thing and like,
What if the person who sealed it farted in it?
it doesn't smell like farts. It smells like old book.
Oh no, we're cutting in and out.
Bane says, I think it's my phone. Never mind. I started something over here. I regret it.
Because we are actually dropping some frames, so it might be us.
I'm just
We have to
kissing the
have
Duda.
We have to have a talk with our internet provider. This is getting a little ridiculous.
No, bleached pages do not smell as good. And I think that's part of what it is that new books, they bleach the pages.
Maybe that's it.
So I have a feeling that a long time ago, they did not do that shit. I could be wrong. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I know that that's the thing now, is that they bleach the pages. Bless you.
Gotta have that crisp white page.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually pay people to, like, age your book, too.
Yeah.
Like, I saw how you do it. You're supposed to, like, take some paper towels, soak it in coffee, and then you, like, pat it around the edges and stuff.
Dan said his was having issues, too.
Okay.
But he thought it was him.
Well, I mean, it is around that. It is around that time.
It is around that time. That is true.
We've exhausted our Luna facts.
We have talked about Luna and then some. So, yeah. Maybe now is a good time to drop off for now.
Yeah, this was fun.
This was fun. I think we had a lot of really good discussion.
Yeah, glad we could live stream again. I don't want to say that we're going to live stream next Thursday because things are kind of crazy. For the next, the next 3 weeks, I think she still has in the season.
Yeah.
So for like the next 3 weeks, like live streams will be kind of weird here and there and that sort of thing. But
So the best thing we can say is keep an eye out on the Discord, keep an eye out on the Instagram, keep an eye out on the channel, and we will let you know when we will be doing our next stream.
All right.
Just lots of things going on. So we will let you know when we can stream again, potentially within the next week or two.
all right, everyone.
All right, everyone. It was
have
great.
a great night.
It was great to see everybody. Thank you all for popping in. This was great. See you next time.